Okay, so I wanted to hop straight into this. Um, yeah, I wanted to talk about looking like you're distorted and how that can kind of affect how people treat you. This is something that I never hear. I only heard one person in my life talk about this, right? And have you guys ever heard of Mystery from the pickup artist community? Like he was talking about in one of his seminars that he has online. He said that some of the students that he has, he was just like, you guys look like you're retarded. And that's the reason why you can't get girls. And he kind of explained that, and that I know that sounds really random, but it's true. Some people look like they have some type of mental handicap even when they don't, right? And they get treated that way. They get mistreated, and we automatically assume like, okay, if they don't have a mental handicap, they'll be able to just overcome it because people will eventually recognize that they're intelligent. But the truth is that that doesn't always happen. It happens probably most of the time, but it's not going to happen for everyone. Some people are, you know, will try to hold you into that position, or just they just won't see you for who you are. And so what causes somebody to look that way? I've been doing a lot of reading, and I came across this book. I forgot what the name of the book is. I could probably look it up real quick. I actually was listening to it on my phone, but um, there was a doctor who was talking about how some people, like, when they're in the wound, they don't get all the vitamins that they're supposed to get because their parents, their mom, just doesn't eat as well, or even she might eat well, but prior to um, pregnancy, how well you ate also kind of helps with how a person looks. So, for instance, if if your mom didn't get enough vitamin A helps form the eye, like the eyeball. Like if you don't get enough, then your body will compensate and get materials another way, but it'll change the shape of your eye. Like it'll give it a different type of shape, rather than just a normal shape the way it's supposed to be. And so when you come out, that you look different. Now there's people that their mom drinks or smokes. I've seen people, and that kind of annoys me to see a woman smoking while she's pregnant. But I've seen people like that, and it affects how you look. Just certain things, like you don't get enough vitamins here, and then next you know. But so let's say you have a narcissistic mom. Let's say you do. She's not going to be the type of person who really cares about, like, doing all that they can to make sure that you survive and make sure that you thrive and have the best chance in life. And it starts before you're actually born. So that's like a possible solution, but I mean possible cause. But then you also have people that just it might be the way your face is shaped, or it could be just something that has to do with how you move. If you're the type of person who thinks a lot, it affects how fast you move. You might move slower because you're always thinking, or um, you know, just stuff like that. It could be people are uncomfortable with you, so you feel uncomfortable, and you never get around to being completely comfortable, and just always looking like you're you're uncomfortable and confused, can give people the wrong impression. But the point is just kind of to give you more clarification on what's happening if you're the type of person who's always getting slighted, or is always the person who's targeted by a narcissist or a psychopath, or if you're always getting bullied. Is it might be because people think that you're mentally challenged just based off of your appearance or and things like that. And yeah, it's really sad, but you can work on that. It's something that, it's not like you're stuck in that position. If it's your body language is doing it, you can definitely work on it. If it's something else, then work on everything until you get down to the point where you figure out that, okay, I don't know, it's something else, right? That I can't really change with my body language. I can't, change it. So I might need to get plastic surgery or something like that. I would consider that if it's that pervasive in your life, if it's that continuous, like nonstop, where your life is just hard. I would consider. I'm the type of person who would never normally consider plastic surgery, like liposuction or anything like that. I'm like, you always need to work hard, and it'll last longer if you do that, right? But the reality is that the world is very cold. People don't act the way that they should, and like I always say in my other videos, you have like the system of white supremacy, you know, which is kind of the law of the land, which is, to mistreat people who aren't a certain race, who are non-white. And so when you have people like that, where it's okay to mistreat certain people, it spreads, where people just, they don't live the way that they should. They aren't how they're supposed to be, where they're constantly trying to be a better person and master the art of treating people well, and just be good people. Like, you're not going to have a population of people like that and have a system of white supremacy, and so yeah, it's just one of those situations where we could have a world where people would get to know people, and because a lot of people try to make it seem like, well, that's the way people are, people judge, but in reality, that's not true. That's the culture that we live under. People aren't as mature as they're supposed to be, um, especially victims of white supremacy, but also the the predators, the white supremacists themselves. They aren't as mature as they're supposed to be. They're the most mature people on the planet, but they aren't where they're supposed to be, So you have a bunch of people who act like kids, and that's basically what it is, That's the reason why people will lock you out and be like, and just never give you a chance, because it's like, it's a kiddish way. Except even as kids, they'll get to a point where they might let somebody who's different in, if if you show yourself to be capable long enough. But if you're an adult, will know that, okay, that can happen, and it becomes something else. It's not just about, I feel uncomfortable around you. It's more about having power over you. So they take the childish mindset, and then they still try to hold on to stuff that, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're smart enough to be like, okay, I'm not going to ever allow this person, because that eats away at my power. I like having power over them, so I'm going to hold on to that, and I'm going to continuously do it no matter what. I'm going to continuously hold this person out no matter what, and I'm going to fight tooth and nail to get everybody else to do the same thing. And so that's just the idea, you know, that I wanted to talk about. And the main focus of the video is just mainly to just talk about something that nobody really talks about that much. Okay, so basically it's like, if you've tried everything and you can't figure out why you're always the person being bullied or why you're always being mistreated, it's probably this. It's probably that you look like you're retarded, even though you have a working mind, you know, and people just aren't giving you a chance and they're just kind of fighting against you, kind of. So that's all I got, though. Hopefully that brings a little bit of clarity, and I'm out. Peace.